Good morning to a beautiful day 222. Still got plenty of work to do as always. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. This channel really is about us trying to attempt to build a pretty unique house in the Caribbean with a view to have some time away from the UK with our family. And obviously having this as a holiday home at some stage in the future. So this is the trials and tribulations of trying to build in a different country, learning new things on a daily basis as to what to do and what not to do. So the more people we get to join the channel, the more we get to learn and the more information we get to pass on to other people. So please obviously help us like and subscribe and comment on the channel. So anyway, today, what does today consist of? It consists of really the kitchen area yesterday was pretty much filled, so that's got to be sanded down as soon as possible and painted as soon as possible because I'm meant to be putting the kitchen in this morning. So today for me it's bathrooms and kitchen, although I can't do both at the same time. Can't be in 3 rooms at the same time. So I've got a kitchen fitter that's coming this morning to start with regards to putting that in. But obviously I'm very mindful at the moment he's coming and there's door tracks in the middle of the kitchen. Nothing's been sanded above and nothing's been painted above either. So I'm not too sure how that's going to pan out. But anyway, he's confirmed he's going to be here this morning. I now need to chase up the man that's obviously doing the plasterboarding to ensure that we can try and get a bit of a shift on to make sure that's going to enable us to carry on. Obviously a lot more filling to go on the board that's already here as well. So got all in here to do. There's still plasterboard off the walls in here that needs to be done. The living area itself, it doesn't need to be touched at the moment because this is the main focus, but again, it's now boarded, so we're going to need to get that all filled all the way through and sand and do that as well at the same time. In an ideal world, we should be getting everything filled and sanded before anything gets put in, but anyone new to the channel, we've literally got about 9 days to get everything done for us to try to live in here. So, cut a very long story short, our rental is obviously coming to an end and we need to move out. So we just need to make sure we can get into here and live whilst we finish off the rest of the actual building. So hence the reason why lots to do. Yesterday in here was filled as well. I'm not too sure if it was sanded. It doesn't look sanded. No, it doesn't look sanded. So here it's got to be sanded. The bathroom was actually painted with another coat. Looks a lot better today. Yesterday it was very patchy, but it seems to have dried a bit better. But it still needs another coat on here anyway. But the focus in here is to try and get the shower tray sorted in order for me to start fitting the suites. But the individual that's meant to be doing the floor, unfortunately, his individual that does the floor is not well and isn't able to come. So that obviously causes a little bit of a delay on fitting the bathrooms, which is obviously a pain in the backside. Bathrooms are more important than a kitchen. You can eat out, and you can even wash in a kitchen, in a bathroom sink, but you can't go to the toilet in a kitchen. So same in this bathroom as well. Yeah, the bathroom itself has had a coat of paint. Again, in this light, it really does need another coat. This one you can really see a little bit of striping on the walls. But again, same problem. We've got the shower floor that's ready, but we're waiting on the individual to come out to do that. So all the time we've got that delay, there's not a great deal we can do. So I'll have to obviously try and have a bit of a think today about what we do with the bathrooms, whether I install the actual sinks and the toilets and then just get them all completely masked up, and then they can do the shower tray after. But what I don't want to do is delay the bathrooms a lot longer, that's for sure. But in an ideal world, you get the shower tray done first and then you would move into doing the rest second. Bedrooms themselves, to a certain extent, they're not completely finished, but again, probably could do with another coat of paint at some stage, but this is about us just getting in at the moment. Hallway, again, hasn't been sanded down or painted yet. So next week, I mean, things like that can be done next week with a build-up, but obviously I'm looking to move in. So in an ideal world, we need to get most of the sanding done so I don't land up having dust absolutely everywhere whilst we're living here. Today I'm going to get the labourers doing a bloody good clear up because there is just stuff everywhere. There's just no need for us to have all this stuff everywhere. So try and get a little bit more organised. Do you know what I mean? There's just piles of stuff everywhere. If we can get all of these piles taken up, centralised, bagged up and binned. You know, it gives us a little bit more space. I'm going to get all these door tracks moved over to this side because this is where we're meant to be actually putting the doors in. I am very mindful, obviously he's going to want to try and come in here, but this has to be his number one focus today. Where we're concerned, obviously, to finish off this living area, we are going to have to try and get all of this sorted out here. So yesterday I focused on the doors. I say focused. I had a bit of my day yesterday focusing on just getting the actual door jamb put in. So we've obviously got a gap down here where the door jamb fixes. So I've got to find out how to fix this to the door properly. I've just tacked it in with some small screws for now, but I'm pretty sure they're big long screws that go into here, and I think this has got to be siliconed on. But I don't have the manuals to it. The door fitter's got those, so I need to find out how to fix that panel to the door frame and how to screw it properly. And then once we've done that, we can then re-drill these properly into the wall itself with these screws. These are pretty secure, but we can drill these properly into the wall. That will give that a nice tight fitting, and then we can think about what to do in here. Are we filling this with a mitered wood, or are we physically just fixer foaming that and from the outside finishing that off? As you can see from the outside, there's going to be a gap there, so we're definitely going to have to think about how to finish that off, bearing in mind that the actual the bead itself is back by about sort of 15 mil, so there's going to be a slight difference in depth there. And then we've also got to think about what to do above as well. I said yesterday we've got quite a big gap above going outside. In fact, let me show you from the outside so you can see what I mean. Pretty sure I showed you guys yesterday, but one of the things we have to do today is to work out what's the best way to try and cover a gap like that, which is about 3 inches, and a gap like that, which is about 3 inches. So in an ideal world, I wanted to box this down so that this piece came down to the door, but that is a lot of work. So I'm thinking about, putting some form of timber across the top of the door frame to physically have a fascia, and then do the same above to the here as well, and then just get that painted in. That's probably going to be the easiest and cheapest way, but it does mean that when the doors are open, we will have a step down to the door frame, which was not what I wanted. But anyway, we are where we are. As you can see there, that's a 2x2 bit of timber there, look. And it's not too bad. So I could technically take that timber out to the edge. We've got quite a bit of these 1x1s. We could literally take the timber straight across the top of the door, all the way along here, fix it into here all the way along, and then just board the whole thing. It does mean more material, but it does mean a nicer finish and more of a straightforward finish. So I need to have a think about that today. Other than that, it's seeing who's going to arrive. Bear in mind, yesterday was a bank holiday. Making sure there's no hungover people. Getting a bit of a task list set up for everybody. Making sure everybody can try and adhere to that, because we've got to push and we've got to try and make sure we're strategically pushing together, otherwise we're just not going to achieve a great deal today. Other than that, I will check in with you a bit later on. Fingers crossed we will be fitting bathrooms and kitchens. Fingers crossed. Bathroom suite's being installed. So we currently have sink units going to go here, 50 from the wall. Framework being built, obviously, to house the cistern. And obviously the pedestal toilet will sit off the front of here. So we're just looking at the height. Height currently is 110, but I think we need to bring it down to 100. It looks a little bit too, because we've gone shorter with it. I would have gone down to here, but I wanted the gap here and here to be equal. I think the height actually makes it look a little bit too high. So I'm going to bring it down to 100. And then obviously box it in and see what it's like, and then get the toilet and everything just put in place and make sure it looks fine. So that'll give enough space on the top, for, obviously, for storage, and the gaps here for the bins and loo brushes, etc. So that's the first stage of, obviously, bathroom 1. So, start again. Phone call coming in, windows going in, electrician's doing lights, carpenter's doing formwork, plasterboard guys in the corner putting up plasterboard, carpenter's doing bathroom suite. Let me show you in the bathroom what we're doing. So I just showed you obviously what we're deciding to do in the bathroom. Bit of a close up of my face, sorry about that. So in here, what we're looking to do is, as I said just a minute ago, we've got to redo that. They didn't listen, they've gone down a bit too deep on there, so I'm going to have to bring that up now. I said go down half an inch to 3/4 of an inch, and then now gone down, I would say probably 2 inches. So I've got to redo that. Framework's going to go in here. We decided to go with a 4 foot framework in here that will house the toilet cistern on the wall, That will be plasterboard and painted white, and the toilet pedestal will sit on the front. There'll be a small gap at one side because there's a gap between that and the glass. That will give about a 50 gap here for bins and stuff like that. Then we'll have the sink and pedestal unit sitting here, and another 50 gap on this side with an LED mirror here. So that's the goal there. Another tier of tiles to go around the top, and then once they've actually come in and done the base, then obviously the tiles go around the base as well, down to that as well, and then the glass will be in. So bathroom 1, it's been planned out and it's been installed, so it worked on as we speak. Sorry about the noise. There's the framework there being cut down. And then we've got another toilet system here, another sink unit. And in here will be very similar, but in this bathroom we have 2. So there's the pedestals. Same thing again, it'll be a smaller framework here with a smaller top, and then there'll be 2 sinks side by side. So the aim is to have that one up against the wall, a 2-inch gap in between, another one here, ideally a gap between that and the framework. And again, same thing, another set of tiles around the top to finish off. Floor needs to be done, this one's a lot better. Still need to cut that out. And another set of tiles going around the base and the shower screen. So that will be done. That's bathroom 2. No one else, we need a bloody good industrial clean in it, that's for sure. So this has all got to be sanded down, so that's going to be, that will give us a good finish, but obviously a lot more dust. And we still got to get the guys to finish off the packers, etc., so we can actually get the fixer foam put in and the silicone in to finish the windows. So that's the next bit we need to do. To lift those units through in a minute, so I can actually set them out. Then obviously I can mark them out. We can actually build a cupboard according to the gap itself. I've asked Andrew to come in and try and start sanding down all the actual window frames, door frames in the bedrooms, so we can actually start finishing rooms. So at the moment this room isn't completely finished. Andrew and I, both of us, aren't happy with the finish, so we're going to have to look at some form of paint after the event. But we've still got to do things like the corner beads here have still got to be sanded, filled and sanded. This bit's still got to be done. The window frames themselves, the beads were put on, but we haven't actually sanded down yet. So this all the openings need to be sanded down. That's going to create a lot more dust. So we need to get that done so we can actually get to a point where we've got now room complete, finished. Board up, door on, whatever it's going to be. Also need to do the bathrooms, same with this bedroom here. Things like this need to be sanded down, so we need to get everything sanded, everything filled. So we can sand and paint and complete. At the moment I've got loads of rooms all with work going on in them, so I need to start getting to a point where some of the rooms are now being ticked off complete, so I can lock the door, we don't have to go back in there again. We've still got to get this framework in the corner here sorted out now, so it's in. We're going to have to put plasterboard on that wall there, and the boxing on the inside. So what I mean, when the doors open, what you can see, so when the doors are open you can see the wall. So what we need to do is put a sheet of plasterboard or something on that wall. And we also need to do the same on this side as well. So this framework we're putting in, we need to have plasterboard on the back of it as well, so that when you look down, you can't see left or right. And then this framework then needs to be fixed in today, and we need to start obviously plasterboarding it. Because it's done, it's good. So that's that. Obviously the guys are doing the same thing here as well. Obviously they're all finished off, and we've decided potentially to go with this 2x2 idea, where we measure all the 2x2s out and we literally fix, I don't know, every 2 foot or every 4 foot, we put a 2x2 straight through, we fix it into the wall outside, we fix through the door frame into it as well, and then we literally board the outside and paint that. That's, I think, going to be the easiest way of getting most of the solutions we're looking for in one hit. Forward is actually up there at the moment, obviously doing the downrights and the support for the doors to be hung up. The guys are getting ready to put the doors together. The hook has been taken out of the wall to put back in here as well, so we can hold the actual middle frame up. And we've had the labourers giving a bit of a general tidy up, because here was an absolute bomb site earlier, so it's looking a lot better now, that's for sure. So other than that, obviously we've still got rooms like this. Like I said, we need to get this plasterboarded. There's no reason why now we can't have boards up everywhere. Everything should be boarded by now. There should be nothing looking like this. So we get those boarded, get the ends boarded, start getting as much filler on as we physically can, because I want to be sanded and painted by Wednesday everywhere. I don't want any more dust. We've got industrial cleaners potentially coming in, so I need them to have time to ensure they can clean and not have to re-clean. So again, we've got to plasterboard this. This has all got to be done. So there's plenty of work to get on with. And not enough time. So there's meant to be a kitchen fitter with me today, but he's had to take his wife to the doctors, so not too sure where he is at the moment. But it's pretty good that he is delayed a little bit because we're still not ready at the moment. But anyway, as soon as he turns up, I'm going for the kitchen. We're putting the kitchen in regardless whether we're ready or not. That's the plan. Loads to do. I'll update you a bit later on. Thank you. So a quick update on the driveway itself to show you what the state of play is at the moment. So let's have a quick look. This is what the actual the front step is now starting to look like. So that's going to be full of marl. We need to get these stabilised up today all the way along here because we're going to be literally bringing the bobcat in and filling this with marl in the next day. As you can see here, the stones underneath need to be backed up, so we need to get marl down here to stop the stones crumbling because there's pipe underneath here. This has all been concreted in, so this is all the electrical pipes, the electrical feeds, and the also pipe work going into here as well as that way, and we've had it concreted. I know everyone says you shouldn't do it, but this is absolutely solid and it's on rock, so fingers crossed we won't have any more issues with broken pipes. Anything that's obviously dangling like that has come into, again, the same thing. And then what we've been doing today is just analysing the infrastructure into the house for air conditioning, etc. So these, again, schedule 40 pipe work, nice and thick. Although that one isn't, is it? Yes, it is. I think they all are. I have to double check that, make sure they definitely are. Schedule 32.5. Okay, that's about the same. 32.5, yeah, they're 32.5, not 40. So they will come along here all the way to this part, and these two pieces here are two offsets from the garage wall. So when you come down the driveway, the wall itself will have a 2 foot backwards, and that's where we're going to house the air conditioning condensers and the gas. So the pipe work for both of those systems need to be run through into the basement of the house. So that's what that's there for. We blinded here so it's in a solid surface. We'll concrete them again, and then we'll marl fill right over the whole top. So I'm hoping to start backfilling marl in the next day. So we need to try and focus on getting those concreted in at some stage, that's for sure. Then once we've done that, we've got to the block height of marl. We've then got to do the laborious task of getting in here and opening this back up again, replacing those pipes and replacing those pipes. So I need to make sure I have enough pipe, obviously. We've got those 3 in so far, and we probably need another 3 there now. So that's 3 we need there, plus we need the 2 in there. So there's at least 1, 2, and another 1, 2. So we need another 4, 5, 6, 7 pipes. Fingers crossed I ordered enough. It's not bloody cheap, I can tell you that much. Also, what's happening as we speak, our hot water is going up on the roof. So we've got an 80-gallon unit going up on the roof, and the guys are going to try and house it as far back as possible, so from the roadside you don't see it. But this pipe work here is the infrastructure where the actual hot water will be going down. So there's a cold water feed and a hot water return that they'll be connected to, but I want them as far away as possible so that when you're driving down the road you can't see the solar and the container from the roadside. That's the aim. The other issue we do have as well at the moment is that there is nowhere on our complex to physically house the guttering, and the gutters all come to the front. So this is a flood zone area, so there's always been a bit of a problem at the moment with water drawing away. So we've actually been advised that we can actually do these here, but I still need to talk to somebody to make sure that what we've done is right. At the moment, if we put it into the complex, then there's nowhere for the water to go, whereas at least when it goes to the road, it floods away. But there's no main system on the road to plug into, which means that you either take it into your own complex, and if your complex floods, you've obviously contributed towards the flood, or you do what we've done here. So it makes perfect sense what we've done, but I'm under the impression that it's something that's not quite allowed. But you know, in England, it would literally connect to the main sewage system, the main rain system in the road. So you connect that obviously off into your own home, and it would connect to those. But here, there is nothing in the roads. All there is a big well at the bottom, and all the water runs down into the well. So I hope we've done things right. Fingers crossed we have. I've seen a few houses around that have done it, so I'm assuming it's okay. But other than that, there's literally nowhere for us to put it. There's, we can run it straight down to the end, but all that's going to happen is it's just going to go straight into the soil and just flood. It's got nowhere to go. So yeah, a bit of a strange one. So hopefully we've done the right thing. Other than that, we should have hot water by the end of play today. That's the aim. And Tyson in the house. He's mastered looking busy.
Yes, I've been all year on.
So the solar tank itself is actually up on the roof, 80 gallons. Trying to put it somewhere where obviously the main support in the house will support it, but also from the roadside, you don't really get to see it. So I've gone sideways like that for now, thinking about it being down the road. The road itself is here. As you're coming down the road here, it's quite high, but I think to a certain extent, because of the size of the roof, you should be able to hide it there. So I've said to the guys, obviously I know the pipework's over here, but run the pipework along, then across the roof up to the actual system itself, and then directly underneath here, I say directly, I'm pretty sure I got it right, there is the big support mechanism downstairs. So the support mechanism downstairs should house that, so I might need to bring it over here a little bit more. But there's the big H-shaped sort of block work that goes through the middle of the floor, so trying to put that directly on top, so more weight is obviously going to be directly supported. As you know, we've had the cracks redone up here, and there was rain this morning. We've had no water so far, so fingers crossed they could very well be fixed. So the more water that now comes on them, the better. Also, as I said before, it actually starts self-healing itself. All of this has been waterproofed and done as well, as over the road. Here they've actually chased out a hole for the water to go through. I'm not too sure why it's so big, but they've obviously not done this piece here, so the water is still sitting there, so we need to shave that out a little bit more to make sure that can run. And this also needs to be capped off as well, and we need to obviously get the side of it actually plastered and brought to width as well. Other than that, up here is looking reasonably okay. There's a couple of little pools there and one reasonably big one over there, but other than that, it's holding up okay. More lifting and shifting. Big units coming in. Big shout out to Sam of How in Southsea. Pre-made units. Drawers. Bit of a sponsorship plug for you, Howdens. And Sam the man of Southsea. All coming up, all about to go in. Downside, Sam, well, I didn't actually order enough. This wall is 6,000 and I've ordered 3,000. So we might have a little bit of a problem with it looking like a postage stamp on the wall. So what I need from you, Sam, is 4 more doors, the larder ones, the split in half ones, which I assume is what these are. And I'm probably going to need another 4 base units to make sure that this part here is matching. So ideally, I need matching here as well as matching there. Kicking on 4 o'clock. It's been one of them days. Kitchen semi in place. Bathrooms semi in place. Doors outside semi in place. So let's have a quick look. Pipework's actually been put on. System's been built and mounted. All the pipework associated to go into the toilet's been cut ready to size. So we're getting some fittings for tomorrow. That will be connected up. That will be boarded up. We're going to buy a worktop and cut that down to length. So a nice worktop to go on top of that. Tomorrow I'll get that fixed onto the wall, centralised where we need it, and get the sink siliconed in, and then the plumber will actually fit the taps and everything else to go with that. So, and then there's the LED mirror to fix up here. That can get done, and the tap and everything can be fixed up with the waste and the water tomorrow. Through here, take you to the other bathroom, not that anything's really greatly happened there today. So, as you can see, still people here, which is good. Saturday, 4 o'clock. This room's had nothing done to it today at all. And this room's nothing really's happened apart from, again, the framework's actually been cut, it's in place. It's not been mounted on the wall yet because I am seeing that the actual floor is actually off in this room. So I need to decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix it to the wall and have it tilted or have it fixed flat. So I'll probably just pack this out. Obviously take the board to the wall, keep it nice and straight. But I'll put a plumb on it first to see whether it's actually the floor or the walls. I'm pretty sure it's the floor, which means that fixing into the walls is what we should be doing, and then packing up the base. Either way, that will be done tomorrow. Same thing here, the system will be mounted tomorrow morning. That will be cut down, pipe work will be done, toilet's already done anyway. And then in this bathroom, we've actually got 2 pedestals that are going to go in here with 2 lots of sinks and 2 lots of taps and 2 lots of mirrors. So, and at the same time, tomorrow I've got to prep and actually put the base down on the floor for the shower. I'm going to cut that out and get that sunk in a little bit deeper for the trap. So I'll get the Hilti on that tomorrow. I reckon I'll have the bathrooms done within, well, certainly by the close of play, mid-close of play Monday. That's the aim. Second set of doors are going in as we speak. As you can see, 2 panes in already, third one en route. If they can try and get that in and get that fixed today, that would be absolutely magic, because I can start locking the place up. Plasterboard obviously has all been done in here. The electricians have obviously marked out where they want the lights to go, but they've not done that as yet, but I think they're doing that tomorrow. In here has actually been filled. It's just waiting for it to completely dry, so this can be sanded down. As you can see, there's still some damp patches. We want all those damp patches gone before they actually do that. But again, there's still some not done, so as a result of that, we'll end up being in a situation where some of it's sanded and some of it's not, some of it's filled, some of it's not. Downside to that is once the dust has settled, you then got to create more dust. This corner hasn't been finished off yet. The return hasn't been done yet. Obviously, we've got to do those. That's got to be boarded. In here is just being finished as we speak. As you can see, it's all in there now. Look. So that's all good. So that's also got to be filled and sanded. This has also got to be filled and sanded. Ceiling's got to be done still. We've got the same in here. Outside, obviously, we're trying to put in some boarding in here. So we need to also just trim that top piece and put that in. Not too sure if that's not been done yet. That's being cut as we speak, maybe. And then today we actually did start doing the pipe work through the middle of the floor. And we also did start the marl element, but unfortunately the bobcat within 2 minutes died. So we started getting some marl into the floor, and unfortunately the bobcat didn't last. It's actually gone off to be fixed. But these pipes obviously are now where they need to be, so we're going to get some marl underneath here, some concrete in here. And we did also concrete in the gutter as well, so that's good news. Other than that, the electrics are pretty much where they need to be at the moment. There's not a great deal left to do on the electrics. So we'll try and get the lights cut in all the way along and get those sunk in as well. Sanding down taking place while this, so we're just testing it. I think he's had a problem with it, so we need to get this all set. So what he's going to be doing now is sanding all down. As you see, he's already started here. Going to get this all sanded down and get this starting to be painted. I need to get these covered with obviously a dust sheet of some sort in the meantime, otherwise they're going to get absolutely caked and we can't have that, obviously. Other than that, today's been going pretty well, so try and get things locked up soon, obviously, because it's kicking on 4:10. And we'll start again tomorrow, bright and breezy.